What is up, Sportscast? Welcome to the Sports and Stuff Show, the Kings of Sports. I'm Carter.
And I'm Adam.
And let's get right into it. On the agenda today, we are going to talk about Boise State athletics, the basketball and softball teams. We'll talk about the NBA a little bit, maybe the MLB, although there's that much news to go over. And a lot of NFL big news happened today. And it won't be in this episode, but look out for a potential future Batman debate, because this guy thinks that the new Batman is better than the Dark Knight, which is just... I don't understand. But I think that's all we should say about that before we get into a full-on debate.
We had just to give you some context, we had a full-on debate, during the mic testing.
Oh, yeah.
And even other people in the studio that we were recording jumped in and were like, "Yo, what's going on?" Because it was getting heated. It was very fun. We might have to put that in.
I'm gonna rewatch The Dark Knight over the course of this week, and then see if I can possibly get through 3 hours of the new one again before next week.
I'm gonna get some notes. I'm gonna get a full notepad of why.
It's called Sports and Stuff, but we never talk about stuff. So I think we're gonna have to do that next week.
It was because Devin, the previous host that was for episodes 4 through 1. 4 through 1. 1 through 4. I don't know why I said it that way. But it was intended to be that I was going to be the sports person. He was going to be the stuff person. But stuff fell through. And then we got Carter. And we're both sports guys. So the and stuff part kind of got just pushed away.
We'll bring it in a little more. I mean,
yeah.
NFL offseason is happening after the draft.
I'm assuming we're not going to.
After the draft, it's going to be dead a little bit, and March Madness is coming up, and after that's over, I mean,
we're not going to have the USFL, and that's it.
Yeah,
the MLB's not going to have.
So there will be more stuff, but
most definitely.
Yeah, reach out to us on social media. Tell us which movie you think is better, and if you think it's The Dark Knight, congrats. If you think it's the new one, tell us why you have such a wrong opinion.
Okay, I'm not even. wait. Oh my gosh.
With that being said,
yes, let's go on to the weekly updates. On through the weekly. Oh, I forgot the cards. Oh well, it's on my desk, but we're already recording. Onto the weekly updates. As you can tell, we have a different setup, as mentioned.
Yes, we do.
It was really interesting. I ended up having this. So this was actually a circle, just a circle panel that I got from Hobby Lobby. And I had my dad, bandsaw it into this shape, and I had to paint over it, which turned out pretty good. I would say. There's still
and here
some.
It is.
I had way more other priorities, so I didn't put 100% effort into it, but it looked pretty good. So
you can always touch it up.
Yeah, we can touch it up anytime we want. But yes, that should be interesting. I really like this couch setup. I don't know what you guys think about it. I feel like it makes it more chill, makes it more because we did have the one setup over at the first time we did the video, and that was more like a news.
This could make
setup.
It easy for a guest too.
Yeah, where we just it'd be so awkward just having a third person just crammed in here, take up all the leg space.
Oh, I got a bunch of space over here.
Just be they're sitting right here, just put your leg. Yeah. But yeah, we have that as well. I also want to do some YouTube stuff. I was also thinking, I didn't tell you this before, I wanted to give you access to the TikTok, so we could do if you have just any opinions that you want to do, just roll a quick video.
I have opinions.
And have
right.
opinions. First video he puts, why The Dark Knight's better. Man, possibly. And then I'll delete it. Just kidding. But I feel like that'd be interesting. So we could do some.
I'm gonna make that the forfeit for next week. If you get a card wrong, you're gonna have to talk about all the good things from The Dark Knight.
Oh, now we have now we're talking. I also want to do the pen thing too.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see how that is. We want to do a shock pen for the hot take trivia, which we're not gonna do, like I said, because I forgot the cards. But this setup's pretty cool. Should do more videos like that. Also on YouTube, I think that would be cool because they're rolling out 10-minute videos for TikTok. So
which is crazy.
I know I think that's gonna defeat the purpose because
completely, yeah.
Because that's the thing of TikTok is 5-second videos or 10-second videos that you're just watching, and then and that's how they do analytics is how long these people are watching these 5 to 10-second videos. But when you add 10 minutes, that's a YouTube video. That's literally
it really is, yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work, but we might just
I don't use TikTok very much anyway, so it doesn't really affect me, but
yeah, so I guess we might just post once they fully roll that out, like post our videos on there and TikTok, I guess, like the clips at least. But I don't know. We'll see. Also, new merch. This jacket is really nice. This is a champion one, and I'm like,
I had to break this out today with the news.
Oh yeah,
I had to.
Seahawks.
Which
we will get into
to.
that.
Yeah,
that
we
is
will.
very interesting.
We will.
But yes, this champion is my favorite brand.
I gotta keep my Twitter open. I feel like there's gonna be some more. There's gonna be some more breaking news while we're recording.
It's gonna be interesting. But yes, Champion is my favorite brand. These hoodies are nice. Unfortunately for the Champion, it's only in black and gray, which kind of sucks. But dude, I put this on. I actually bought this for my mom, and I stole it from her because I was like, nah, I'm taking this because it's really nice. But if you want to get some of your merch, you know where to go. Go to sportsandstuff.show. It has the shop panel in there, and you could buy some. The best way to support our show. I think that's all we have for weekly updates, I'm assuming.
I guess kind of an update.
Yeah.
If you guys have been watching for a while, you remember we did a few episodes on Zoom with Gabe, who is my friend from home. He does some writing, and he knows a lot about sports. Gabe and I are going to do a mock draft that should be out by the end of this week, and then we're going to do a post-free agency mock draft, so those will be on the website, and we'll link those on all the socials, but keep a lookout for that because we're both kind of draft nerds, so we pride ourselves on having some pretty good mocks, but it'll probably be 2 or 3 rounds, but keep an eye out for that.
That should be really interesting. I would have been into that probably last year or the year before, but I've kind of fallen off. They know much better more than I do. But yeah, that should be really interesting. Is that it?
I think so.
All right.
Sounds let's good. Get into Boise State athletics. So the basketball team, bittersweet week.
Yep.
Mostly sweet though. We are the Mountain West regular season champs for the first time in program history. So we will be the 1 seed going into the conference tournament, which I believe means that we will play. We play on Thursday, the winner of the 8 and 9 game. So I think that's New Mexico and Nevada, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Ended the season 24-7 overall, 15-3 in the conference, which is just insane. I mean, going into the year, neither of us had expectations this high. Neither of us even had hopes this high. So.
Well, I'm just saying, so this is also a plug. I wrote an article about, just going over the season. And, man, some of the headlines were worst free throw shooting team in the league, 3 and 4.
I remember early on in the year we were talking about we're dropping these games, we can't hit a free throw. We thought we were cooked.
Yeah, and we lost to California State Bakersfield. That was bad.
Sheesh. Then 39 points in a game.
Yeah, and then we lost to St. Louis, and we had 3-game losing streak at home.
Yeah.
And it was just ridiculous.
At that point, it seemed pretty rough. It did.
Yeah, and then
But credit, man, completely turned the season around.
And that's the thing is.
Ended the game on, 21-3? Ended the season 21-3?
After that point?
Nuts.
Yeah,
nuts.
It's so ridiculous. And then it was at the point where all these coaches were getting fired and everything at Boise State, and everyone was talking about how Gordy was probably going to get fired, the women's coach, and they're still kind of talking about that now.
What was that guy's name? The player that Leon Rice let go.
Oh, Dutrieve.
Yeah.
Dutrieve, and that
big
was
decision.
That was going
big
to
decision.
Where Dutrieve, he was a pretty he was a starter, and he just decided to leave after they decided to start Tyson.
Credit to Leon Rice, man. Seriously, that could not have been an easy decision, and he got Mountain West Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he's for real.
I forgot to add those in here, but yeah, Leon Rice, Mountain West Coach of the Year. Tyson got Freshman of the Year, and I believe Abu and Acott were second team.
I think it was
Mountain
Abu
West.
and Shaver.
Oh, right.
I'm assuming.
But either way, Abu snubbed from first team.
Yeah, I feel like they got snubbed. We're first in the Mountain West, and we had no players in the first team.
Abu was amazing down the stretch, man.
He was clutch, especially
yeah.
And so I was kind of looking into this. So we had what was his name? It was why am I blanking?
I don't even know who you're thinking of.
He was a really great player for us last year. I'm gonna kill
Alston?
No.
Or was he the year before?
Was it?
Alston Jr.?
Yeah. He was great, and he ended up leaving last year, and everyone was like, "Oh, how are we gonna do?" Because we just have all these juniors that are turning seniors, and we didn't know how they would step up and everything. And I looked, we are 4th in the preseason poll to projected. We were supposed to be behind Colorado State, Nevada, San Diego State, and then it would be us. Which
I saw even lower than that when I was looking around, but either way,
it was pretty bad. Like, and then we went 3-4. Everyone was like, "Dude, we suck." And then all of a sudden, Leon Rice did not care. He was like,
Credit to him, man. I don't always agree with his rotations sometimes, as you know, but he's awesome, dude. He's a good coach, and he made some tough decisions early on in the year. And I mean,
he's a funny guy.
Great. So credit to him, credit to the whole team. But
yeah.
So it is Tuesday today. A week ago, we beat Nevada 73-67. Abu Kijab had 23 points on 9 of 12 shooting. Absolute stud. And it was his senior night. So they had the ceremony for him before the game, and then he just balls out, and we win. It was awesome. Shaver and Acott had 16 each. It was a really good win. The team played really well and locked up the Mountain West regular season title.
And then it fell apart.
And then the court storm fail, which is the next. We will get to that. And then at Colorado State on Saturday, tough loss, 71-68. Abu Kijab again played well. He had 15, 6, and 5. A rough ending for Marcus Shaver there. He last two possessions, there was a turnover and then a potential game-tying 3 that didn't draw a rim. I rewatched the ending. He got hacked on that turnover. He got hacked. He did. Which, I mean, obviously you still, do your best to hold on to the ball. But he got hacked, and Armus was open.
There's a ton of, spots this year, though, for Boise State where we got, absolutely, cheated.
It felt like it sometimes.
There's some times where it was
I wouldn't say cheated, but sometimes the whistles went the wrong way.
Yeah. And there was quite a bit of times, and I know we're gonna sound biased because we're from Boise State.
We are biased, but
there was I would say I'm less. I feel like I'm more neutral. Even though I report on them,
you might be more neutral on the basketball team. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral.
So you're just not really a basketball guy.
I would say I'm more. Yeah, I would say I'm very neutral for the basketball team because I don't really of course, because it's for the school, but I would say I'm not a diehard, always been a fan or anything like that. I would say I'm pretty neutral with it.
Yeah. So the toughest part about this game was that
we got owned twice by Colorado State.
Well, not even that, but Colorado State is ranked now, and we
that's BS.
No, they deserve it. It makes sense. But we were 26th in the AP poll, 7 points behind North Carolina. If we would have beat Colorado State, we would have been ranked. Guaranteed. So that hurts.
That sucks.
But at the same time, won the regular season title,
I feel like
one seed going into the conference tournament. We're going to March Madness. It's just a matter of what seed. So we will play on Thursday at, I believe, 1, maybe noon. Either way, it was something around there against the winner of New Mexico and Nevada. So that should be fun. And that's all I got for basketball.
Well, if you think about the Colorado State games, this one I felt like we had a very solid chance of winning. Last one, I 100% think we should have won. The refs cheated us that way.
I didn't even get the chance to watch that one.
Well, that one was ridiculous because
I was out, and then there was the Super Bowl that day.
This
one I did watch.
They tried to push Abu out of bounds with 1 second left because they turned it over, and it was a foul. It should have been a foul because you're not allowed to push a player out of bounds. And then what they ended up doing was I think we ended up getting the ball, which we still should have won that because I think it was Marcus that missed a game-winning shot at that point.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should have won both of these games. I think personally,
either way,
we're a better
the
team.
odds of us getting another shot at them are pretty high.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the championship matchup.
We will see how that goes.
Either that or Mount. I think we have a really good shot. I think San Diego State has a really good shot. I think Wyoming.
San Diego State, or Wyoming especially, those two need to do well.
Yeah.
So they have more at stake than Boise State and Colorado State going into this conference tournament.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of on the bubble, especially Wyoming. They're one of the last 4 in right now. But anyway, we'll talk more about college basketball over the next couple of weeks for sure. March Madness is so close. So close. Selection Sunday will have happened by the time we record next episode, which... okay. Let's talk about softball real quick before we get into the court storm story.
I have a ton on that.
But the softball team, now 16-4 overall, had a 2-2 weekend. Started off with 2 wins, a 5-3 win versus Iowa State, and a 7-1 win against Loyola Chicago. And then lost versus number 9 Arizona. Number 9 in the country. We were up 4-0 in the top of the 5th and couldn't hold on, which is really tough. And then lost to Texas State after that, 2-6. So rough ending, but still 16-4.
They're still pretty good.
And showed that they can hang with an elite team in the country, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you'd like to hold the lead, but whatever. 5 games next weekend, 2 versus Houston, 3 versus McNeese State. And that is the last weekend of away games before we finally get to watch them at home. Now, I'm excited. I'm going to be going for sure.
I'm definitely reporting on the very first home game we have.
I'm going as a fan.
I don't know if they have a box or something, but I'm going. I'm going to go in that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really fun.
I'm not going to pretend to be a softball expert, but it's pretty clear that they're a very good team, and I'm going to go out and support.
Yes.
All right. Now into what I thought was going to be the craziest part of the episode, and then, the NFL got lit on fire today.
Yep.
But yeah, so as we said, we won our first regular season title in Mountain West history, right? The last time Boise State won a conference title, we were in the Big Sky.
Well, that was
in the 80s.
Yeah, well, the first time we outright won a conference title was in the Big Sky in the 80s. We did end up tying and splitting it with the San Diego State in 2015.
Right.
But it wasn't our official own, we had to share it. So this is our first time we outright won a title in in the Mountain West.
So
which is really
were
cool.
you at the game?
I wasn't.
Okay, I was there. I'm going to tell this from my perspective first. Yeah. So there's a couple minutes left. We have a little bit of a lead, but it just felt like a win. Okay, everybody knew we were going to win that game for whatever reason. Abu was balling, as he does.
I mean, you're not going to drop that game.
Right.
If you're Boise State, you ain't dropping that game.
And everybody knew that if that game was a win, we'd lock up the 1 seed, even if we lost the next game.
Right.
So there's a couple minutes left. The students start gathering in the walkways, the stairs.
Yeah.
So the whole student section behind the basket.
Yep.
Start gathering in the walkways across half of the arena, and I'm part of it, of course, because I'm a big fan. And they start gathering with a couple minutes left. One of the weird things to me after all this happened, thinking back, was that as we were gathering, President Trump, the president of the school, she was waving the students, she almost saying come down, come storm the court, because everybody knew that's what we were gonna do. But as we started gathering, the security and police or whatever, they put ropes around the court. And it was a thin rope and wasn't going to stop anything. But they put a rope up and they started standing along the perimeter of the court. So the buzzer sounds, we win. The players are all jumping around. They're all hyped and everything like that. And students start going. Mm-hmm. And at first, a lot of people got through, and they start celebrating with the team, and we're like, okay, this is going to be a great moment. We're going to celebrate with the team. It's going to be awesome. And then the security guards and the cops ruined it.
Yep.
They did you see any videos or anything?
Yep, I did. Well, I wrote plenty of articles on this. Yeah.
So the videos I saw weren't even as bad as what I saw in person. By the time I got down there were a lot of people laying on the ground, and I run up, and there's someone in front of me, and we're both running, and we duck under the rope, and we're running towards the court. He gets away, so he got to go in, and I get 2 hands shoved by a police officer and knocked down. Dang. And as I'm on the ground, I see that same guy. He grabbed a girl by the arms, by the shoulder, and he threw her to the ground, and she hit her head. So they looked like they've been waiting for that moment their whole life. Full on,
finally.
2 hands shoving, throwing. I saw some kicks thrown. It was ridiculous and embarrassing, and it really put a damper on a really what could have been a great moment. And it was a great moment. We won the conference. The players were taking selfies with all the students that did get on, cut the net, all that. But, it was just overshadowed a little bit by the security guards at Extra Mile and the police officers that were there being, terrible people. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. But they were being overly aggressive with guys and girls throwing, kicking, pushing. It was ridiculous.
Yep.
So fast forward to the next day. The Extra Mile Arena posts on Twitter a statement, and they say that the school had a plan in place to get the opposing team out and let students on the court, and security just didn't follow it. Mm-hmm. So we were supposed to be allowed to rush the court, and security just didn't follow the plan to allow us to do so, which makes it even more frustrating. Mm-hmm. And so now they say, the athletics department, I believe it was, said they have a surprise plan for the students to make it up to us.
I heard some funny suggestions I told you about.
I don't know what it is. I hope that they fly the team back for Selection Sunday, sit them on the court in chairs, put the Selection Sunday broadcast on the big screen, and let the students watch with the players in the arena. I think that would be awesome. That would make up for everything for me. What I think they'll do is probably give away like a rally towel or like a mini basketball or something to 20
like,
winners.
You're welcome.
We'll see what happens, but it was a bit of a disaster. A lot of people got hurt. I'm sure that there are some. I wonder if anyone's gonna press charges.
I haven't heard about any charges being made or anything like that.
Because it was aggressive. Like people got hurt.
It was pretty bad.
It was bad.
So like I said earlier, I had to write a story about this, so I had to kind of figure it out. I didn't go to the game because I didn't want to jinx anyone. You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Every Boise State fan. You should be thanking me. I should be getting thank you notes.
You're not watching March Madness.
Trust me, I won't be watching. I'm not watching it anyways. I might report on it though. But so I had to report on this. I had to figure out how other people. The Barstool Broncos one that got pretty popular with the guy who got like absolutely just like punched and decked by like. Mm-hmm. I interviewed him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I interviewed him. It was so weird because like I'm putting it together and I'm trying to piece what happened because, and I've known this because of what I've like experienced from like reporting on Boise State. Boise State likes to hide stuff. Boise State, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they like to hide stuff. I don't
have any knowledge of this, so I will just be quiet.
Yeah, they like to hide stuff. They push things under the table. They only mention, and when they have to mention something, they mention the bare minimum. So with this, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a miscommunication where the police and like all the guards were told not to let them on the court, and Marlene Trump wasn't like aware of it or something like that. Because you
think they just put out that statement saying there was a plan, like just because of the backlash, and they want to push the blame to Extra Mile? Is that what you're saying?
What I thought before you said the Marlene Trump thing, which was kind of confusing to me, was that because you said she was like.
And it's possible it could have meant something else, but as all the students are gathering and I see her doing this.
But I didn't hear about that. But what I pieced together before I heard that was that Boise State, they told the people to do that. Because why would they put a rope there? And why would they have a ton of security if they didn't want them to storm the court?
There's security at every game. But
like they beefed it up more for this game.
Yeah.
And they had the rope there and everything. So it seemed like they didn't want them to storm.
They have a chance to make it up with this whatever this surprise is. Like
yeah.
My expectations are a little high now. Like you got to make up for this cuz you really ruined for a lot of people what could have been an amazing moment. And if you got on the court, congratulations cuz obviously the players loved it and it looked awesome. So congrats. And you know what the most salty part of all this was for me?
What?
Colorado State beat us on Saturday.
They stormed the court.
They didn't win the conference. They didn't win anything. They just won the game. They stormed the court, no problems.
Yep. Well, that was a stupid thing.
We win the conference for the first time ever, and
Wyoming
we
storms
can't
the
storm?
court every other game, and we can't do this. And like I said, I think Boise State said that announcement just to save face and blame it on the security guards. I don't think this is my prediction. There's nothing to back this up. Like, there's no, like, anything. This is just my personal opinion and what I think is going to happen. I think Boise State is just using them as a scapegoat, not going to fire any of them because they know that they're in the wrong and they know they told them that to do what they did.
We'll have to see, because they said they're bringing in a third party to investigate the footage.
I think that they're not going to. I think they might punish them for being too harsh with not letting them on the court, but I think they're going to make the argument that they are told to do it. And Boise State just is just doing that just for publicity, just to not be like, oh yeah, we told them not to storm the court or anything like that. But that's what I personally think. Either that, or what I was kind of thinking while you're telling you what happened was maybe the net, the wiring, whatever was there so that they wouldn't storm the court during the game, like before the game ended.
That's possible.
And maybe that's why. And there
I
was a
didn't think
disconnect.
about that.
But for me personally, I
That's
think it's
definitely
very hard to
possible.
believe that like
I think
these
the way
people were forcibly doing all the things they did willingly, and they weren't told to do it like in any way. Like,
I think the way that they approach this surprise, or however they're going to make it up, I think the way they approach that is going to be telling. Like if it's something small or whatever and seems unplanned, then it would
That's what I think is going to happen.
Then it would make sense that maybe they just were trying to save face. But if it's something like what I'm suggesting, like the watch party for Selection Sunday with the team there, then I would be more inclined to believe that they are truly sorry and there was actually a plan. But we'll have to see.
But yeah, so what I think they're going to happen for the announcement thing they're going to do is I don't think they're going to fly them, because I know how with the football team they had a whole issue with the traveling during the for the bowl game, and they screwed up everything and had to cancel the bowl game because of all their poor traveling plans. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I hope they do that, but I don't know if that's realistically what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a wishy-washy, last-minute plan, like you said, but, I mean, just hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah.
Did anything else come up?
It does not look like the
I'm
reports are
hoping
coming out that
I'm hoping for JT.
Washington offered more than the Broncos did, but Seattle wanted him out of the NFC.
But the thing is, too, is that I don't think Russ would want to go to Washington. Like, I don't think he would accept a
Like
trade to
Washington, the city, or the team?
The DC, I mean, like, to the Washington Defenders. I don't think
Commanders, sir.
I don't, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else has gone down.
That just obliterated everything. Now look at the NFC. What?
Something kind. I mean, it's not football exactly, but according to Tom Pelissero on Twitter, the district attorney investigating Deshaun Watson is presenting her case to a grand jury on Friday, the same day as Watson's civil deposition. Watson's attorney said that there was a request to delay the deposition until Monday, but it was denied. So, yeah, big day for Watson on Friday.
I mean, I sure hope he did it. I didn't do it.
Whoa!
Whoa! I sure hope he didn't do it, and I'm assuming other people hope the same thing.
I would hope
he didn't do it, but like, I don't know. We'll see how that turns out.
If he didn't do it, free him.
Yep.
If he did, then don't free him.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, really? But,
well, I mean, as fun as he is to watch on the football field, if he did that, then lock that dude up for life.
Especially that many people, too. Like, right. I think it was like 20 or something like that.
It's like 23 or something.
It just came more and more and more. We're going to be cutting to NFL news, and then if we have time,
we'll circle back to the NBA, but the NFL just got lit on fire today.
Yep. I thought the Aaron Rodgers news was going to be the biggest thing, and then in my class, I just get a notification, just Russell Wilson to the Broncos. I didn't believe it, and then I see a text from you, and I see you're like, that just happened. I'm like, oh,
I said, like, no way Russ just got traded or something like that. Because that was like, I woke up and that was the first thing I saw. It said
the first thing I saw was
the first thing I do, as maybe embarrassing as it is, the first thing I do when I wake up, I open Twitter, see what's going on, okay? Mm-hmm. And I open it up and I see, I think it was Adam Schefter, and it said like 36 seconds ago, and the Broncos and Seahawks have agreed on a deal. Blah blah blah.
How did you get it that quickly? Because I thought I got it super quickly.
That was the first thing I saw.
Texted it, and I'm like, what?
And usually, so a lot of times people will change their Twitter handle to like Adam Schefter or something like that, and change their profile pic.
Yeah.
But then I saw the check mark. I was like, no way.
That's ridiculous.
So, the full details are out now.
Well, that's weird because the details. I feel like they always come out so much later than the trade. But I feel like the details came out so quick.
Especially since it technically isn't official. I mean, all that needs to happen is he needs to pass a physical, which he will.
Well, he needs to pass it, and he also needs to, because he has a no-trade clause, he has to
he will accept it. He's in Denver.
Well, he's going to accept it. Yeah.
He's in Denver today. He's going to accept it.
This is weird because
Denver might get Von Miller back, too.
I know. I saw.
Because he was talking about that
I
yesterday.
think Von Miller. I think this news was already.
You think he
announced. I think he knew.
He
I
might
think he
have.
at least knew Aaron Rodgers or Russ. And I thought it was going to be an Aaron Rodgers trade that was going to break.
I thought so too, man. With Hackett being there,
I didn't
thought
think Russ was going to. I thought Russ
was staying for sure. I thought he was staying.
I thought.
But either way, let's go through these details real quick because there's some differing opinions on the return. So the Broncos receive Russell Wilson, obviously like top 5 quarterback in the league, 33 years old, but he's got time left, and a 4th round pick.
Yep.
How did they squeeze a 4th out of that? I wish I was a fly on the wall in the Broncos room when they're like, give
me that 4th. We want it.
I think we need a 4th, but
we need a 4th, and it's deal or no deal. This is it. Make or break. We want Russ and a 4th.
Right. The Seahawks get
Drew. Watch that 4th be like
Drew Lock.
Great.
It could be Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks, which I'm 99% sure are 22 and 23. And then a 5th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So Seattle, I've been thinking about it this way. Seattle gave up 2 firsts, a 3rd, and a starting safety for Jamal Adams. And they get back 2 seconds, 2 firsts.
And a dud players.
A backup quarterback and a tight end for one of the better quarterbacks the league has ever seen.
Yeah, I think they got robbed.
I don't think they got necessarily robbed here, but looking at it with the Jamal Adams deal, oof.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, they got robbed.
So they will have the 9th pick in the draft this year, as well as 40 and 41. And then they'll have 2 firsts and 2 seconds next year. So they have a lot of capital. There are rumors about them potentially.
1 first and 1 second next year.
They should have 2. Don't they have their own first?
Oh, yeah, they have.
Next year.
I thought you meant they got like 2 extra firsts.
No. So
Wait, no, because they don't have their first next year.
I think they do.
Because didn't they trade all their firsts away to?
They traded 2 for Jamal Adams, so they didn't have one last year, and they don't.
Traded other
and they don't
firsts
this year.
I don't think they. I think they just have 1 next year. I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure. Either way, I'll look it up. But either way, they have solid draft capital now. Tyler Lockett, I would assume, is going to be in trade talks now. Could totally be on the move.
Or DK.
I think DK's going to stay, unless he divas out.
I heard some trade rumors about DK. Well, he might pull a Mike. I feel like he's like a Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas wanted out after the Drew Brees thing, and then he didn't play at all this year. And he said it was injuries, but he wanted to trade anyways, so he might do that. I can see that.
Yeah, they do have their own 1st and 2nd next year, so
be interesting.
They will have 2 firsts and 2 seconds next year.
Okay,
but I think that Lockett could be on the move. I think Wagner could be on the move. Jamal Adams could potentially be on the move.
Everything.
You would think. The only way they don't is if they flip this. I think the only way they don't is if they flip this for Watson, which at this point would be incredibly stupid because he might never play again. But who knows?
That'd be interesting. Watson to Seattle.
Yeah, please no. Please no. Please.
I would want Watson on like.
Who do you think won this trade?
I think Denver.
I think so too. I mean, Seattle doesn't exactly have a great track record of first-round drafting, and Denver just got an elite quarterback with. He has a couple years left on his deal.
Denver's a pretty good team,
and they got him without giving up any great players.
I think,
losing Fant kind of sucks, but I'm not even going to try to say his last name, but Albert O, their backup tight end, he's decent. And I thought for sure it was gonna be 3 1s and Judy, and it's 2 1s, and they get to keep Judy, they get to keep Sutton, they keep Javonte. Yeah,
Noah Fant was decent.
They're about to get Von Miller back.
Shelby Harris was decent.
They kept Surtain.
Drew Lock sucked, and I was huge on Drew Lock, but Drew Lock sucks.
Fant is solid, but
Fant is decent.
He's like a solid tight end.
He's hands down best player in this trade. From the Broncos side, the 2 firsts is pretty important. 2 seconds is pretty important.
Yeah.
But
so
I don't know. I think
obviously I am a 49ers fan.
I think Broncos,
which means
it's going to be that the AFC West is going to be stacked.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Patrick Mahomes,
Derek Carr,
Justin Herbert.
Derek Carr has to be the best quarterback of all time to be the worst quarterback in a division.
Yeah.
He's got to be, because Derek Carr's really good, and he is the clear worst quarterback in that division. That's insane.
What?
So,
and that's so demoralizing too. That
right.
you have
Poor
a
Raiders,
really
man.
good quarterback. I would take Derek Carr over most other quarterbacks in the NFC
I think
and AFC.
he has a top 10 to 12 argument for sure.
Yeah, and yet he's the worst in their division, and is probably
By
not
a
gonna win much.
significant margin.
Yeah, because what you got Hall of Famer. You got 3 potential Hall of Famers all in one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, so obviously
I would request a trade if I was Derek Carr. If I'm gonna be honest.
I'm a big 49ers fan, which means I am preying on the Seahawks' downfall. So I love to see this.
Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders.
Let me tell you what I would do if I was a Seahawks fan. This is what I would want. So they have pick 9 this year, as well as 40 and 41. And then they have 2 firsts and 2 seconds next year. The quarterbacks this year are not good, okay?
Trade Jamal. Trade, I don't know, Bobby Wagner.
Well, I guess this is just assuming they make no other moves, which I'm sure they will. But I think at 9, they need to take a tackle, okay? There are 3 tackles that are top 10 talents. There is Evan Neal from Alabama. There's Ikem Ekwonu from NC State. And there's Charles Cross from, Mississippi State, I want to say.
I think so.
I think that Evan Neal will be gone. I think he might be pick 1. I think Ekwonu will be gone by the Giants pick. And I
think by 3 or 4, I think.
I think the Jets could take him too. And the Panthers also need a tackle, so they could look at Cross. The Seahawks need to get one of those guys. And if they don't, I think they need to trade down.
I think they need to trade up for one of them. I mean, they could just wait and be... I think right now they're going to try to be aggressive, which I could see them moving up into the top 5 and getting one of those players.
Ideally for them, one of those guys falls. I think the most likely is Charles Cross. So he falls to 9, they get him. Then at 40 and 41, if I was Seattle, I go receiver and then deal Lockett, and then I go edge, because this is a super deep edge class. You can get I'm super high on a guy out of Cincinnati. I don't know how to say his first name. Myjai Sanders. He's an edge out of Cincinnati. He's a stud. I think he'd be a great second-round pick. And then there will be great it's a deep receiver class. So you can go Myjai at 40, and then 41, you could get potentially, there's Christian Watson will be there. Jahan Dotson might be there if you want another smaller guy. Sky Moore might be there.
Well, what could be interesting is that maybe they could trade Tyler Lockett or something.
I think you can get a 3 out of Lockett.
I think you could add him and probably try to move up into the top 5. Because the thing is that
are there any win now teams in the top 5?
With the draft, how it is,
I don't think there
you need to draft by priority. And with the linemen, in my opinion, I think the top 5, there's a top 5, and then there's just mid linemen after.
I like a lot of the linemen, but there's only 3 that I would take top 10, and it are those.
Yeah, and I think those are
so. I think if
team changing.
I think if none of them are there, if I'm Seattle, I trade down. I try to pick up a couple mid-round picks, trade back, and then if you want to still go tackle, you take Trevor Penning. If you want to go interior, you go Linderbaum.
Well, I would probably trade up, try to get one of those players, and maybe use a receiver, and then try to draft a receiver later in the draft because they're filled.
See, we disagree on that. I think that they need to stay put or move back. I wouldn't trade up if I were them. I think they need to stack all the capital they can, and I'd rather move back, gain some more mid-round picks, and because I don't know. If I'm Seattle, I guess the main point I was trying to make is I'd go edge, tackle, receiver at your top 3 picks this year. Wait on quarterback until next year. Mm-hmm. The only quarterback worth a first-round pick this year, in my opinion, is Malik Willis. I don't think that Corral. I think Corral is a second-round talent who will be picked in the first round. I don't believe in Pickett. I don't believe in Howell. At least from what I've seen so far.
I like Pickett
as first-round picks.
I'm kind of changing my opinion on him. I don't like that he throws with gloves.
The hands are an issue.
I don't know.
Some of the smallest hands a starting quarterback would ever have. He fumbled 26 times in college, and now the ball's getting bigger. That's a problem. That is a problem. He's also, I believe he'd be a 24-year-old rookie. So.
Yeah, that's kind of concerning.
So if I'm Seattle, you beef up tackle.
I think it's a big hit or big miss.
You go tackle, edge, and I think you go receiver and move Lockett this year. And then you wait.
We agree on that, though.
Wait on a quarterback until next year.
At least getting capital for Tyler Lockett and then getting a receiver.
Wait on a quarterback till next year and draft one in 2023. So this year, either, write it out with Locke, I guess, for a year, or sign Trubisky for a 1-year deal maybe, because
People
I
are
don't
actually
just
going
something.
kind of high on Trubisky this year.
I don't know how I feel about it, but I would take Trubisky
I would take
over.
a chance if
I'd take him over Locke and Geno. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would take a chance over him, like, because it's kind of coming out that it was kind of like the Bears was very dysfunctional, and he might.
It's not
have
all
been
on
the
him.
issue.
It for sure wasn't all on him. He deserves another chance.
Yeah, I
But-
think so too.
Anyway, so I think Seattle needs to wait on a quarterback. As a 49ers fan, I hope they draft a quarterback this year. I would absolutely
Get
love
stuck
it.
with one of those.
I hope Willis is gone by 9 and they take like Pickett or that would be great.
We know about draft busts.
That would be great.
And quarterbacks busting in the first round, being a draft
The
bust.
last like 5-6 years, there've been a lot of draft busts, especially at quarterback.
There was
It's
one
bad.
specific draft bust, which leads into our next topic, or next person, Jordan Love.
Oh, you can't call him a bust yet.
Okay, I'll get into this.
You can't
but
call him a bust.
You.
It was a terrible
by
pick.
how the Packers are
But
reacting.
you can't call him a bust.
He seems like a bust. If he was a good player, which this is okay with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, everyone in the Packers organization knew Aaron Rodgers was good, and that's why they were like, "Screw you, Brett Favre. You can do whatever you want. You could be a diva.
Here's the
We're
thing,
gonna be
though.
sticking with this rookie because he's on a rookie deal. He's cheap and he's great."
Just because Jordan Love isn't Aaron Rodgers doesn't mean he's not good or even great. Aaron Rodgers might be the most talented quarterback of all time.
he was
you
great-
can't. The comparison just isn't
If
fair.
they saw potential there, I think they would have moved off of Aaron Rodgers in a heartbeat.
And I just disagree. I don't know. I think you keep Rodgers as long as you possibly can.
I think if he was great, like how they saw Aaron Rodgers was great because Brett Favre was great. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's probably one of the top 10 all-time quarterbacks.
He's not. Yeah, but Rodgers is better.
But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is better. But you think about it that way, like they moved off of Brett Favre for Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers coming off the bat was not better than Brett Favre. Let's get that clear. Like he was not. They didn't look at Aaron Rodgers was like, yeah, this guy's going to be better than Brett like off the bat. Like, but looking at Jordan Love and looking at what we saw for now and how they're acting, because I was so hoping that Jordan Love was going to be great, like Aaron Rodgers was, but how they're acting and how they're using him and moving him, it just doesn't seem like they see, because the teams would know. And I think I really like Colin Cowherd's take on it, where they said if Jordan Love was great, they would have let stuff come out to hurt Aaron Rodgers or to make it seem like Aaron Rodgers.
I just don't think it's fair to judge him already. I don't. And
well, that's just how it is. But like,
maybe he's not doing great within practice or the organization yet. But again, you're comparing it to Rodgers and Brett Favre. It's just not the same. Like, you can't compare him dethroning Rodgers to Rodgers dethroning Brett Favre because it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, even if he wasn't always this great, he was always Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love could be a very good quarterback, and we just don't know it yet. It's possible. It's too early to call him a bust, but it's not too early to say that it was a terrible pick.
I think he's a bust.
It was a terrible pick.
pick.
We can't call him a bust. He has one start.
Yeah, but like I said,
Got to give him a chance.
They know he's a bust. Like,
he's got to get a legitimate shot before you call him a bust.
Okay, here's my argument too.
He's a bad pick for sure, but you can't call him a
argue
bust.
that Josh Rosen didn't get a chance.
He did
but the thing is,
he got a full season.
Well, they said they're like, oh, he didn't get a good chance because the Cardinals are just using him and stuff. But the thing is that, and it's the same with Sam Darnold.
Darnold got multiple full seasons.
The thing is that like, well, people are making those arguments, And my thing is that they knew that he wasn't going to be good. They gave him a chance. They tried him at practice. He didn't look good. Like Jordan Love, they gave him so many first starter snaps, and they treated him like the starter the whole offseason. He had a whole offseason to be at least decent, and in the showings, he did not seem that great. Even in the preseason games against other starter teams, like in the first couple quarters, he did not seem great. Like, and even against the Lions and the Chiefs, like, he did not seem great.
I'm not saying he was good in those. I just think that he deserves more opportunity before.
I mean, he could be
being
a
labeled as a
backup,
bust.
but
It's just too early to tell.
See that.
It's just way too early to tell.
I
think about a lot of these great quarterbacks who didn't start off as hot.
They would have given off so much stuff to at least give
We don't know, though.
Love some trade value.
We just don't
if
know.
He was good. Like, they would be like, oh, he's
Or maybe
great,
they wouldn't
something would have
because
came
they
off.
think he's good and they want to keep him around.
I don't know. I don't think so.
We just can't know. We can't know.
I think it's written on the walls, but
you can have predictions,
we'll
but we can't know.
We'll come
anyway,
out,
we bring up Jordan Love because Aaron Rodgers has announced that he's going to be back with the Packers next season. There were rumors of a 4-year, $200 million deal that are false. He has not actually signed a deal yet, but he has committed verbally and through sources that he's going to be a Packer next year. Whether that's a 1-year deal, whether it's a long-term deal, whether it's expensive, team-friendly, nobody knows. What we know is he's going to be on the Packers.
I thought Adam Schefter broke the news about it.
It was Rappaport who said 4 years, $200 million, but that was wrong.
How do you know that?
Because Rodgers himself said it.
Okay.
Rodgers told McAfee that he was going to be back with the Packers.
I just didn't watch the McAfee show.
And then it was reported that Rodgers had signed that deal. McAfee said that's not true. People didn't know who to believe. Then Rodgers comes out and tweets and says, hey, all, yeah, I'm coming back to the Packers, but I have not signed a deal. And those terms that people are saying, I haven't signed a deal, so they're not true.
He's going to be like, that's not true. Signs a $200 million.
It could be.
$210 million 4 years, or it'd be like $2 million in one.
It's also possible they just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
that could just be.
No one really knew if he was going to come back, so he's back, and it's up to the Packers to work out the contract now.
Traded him.
Yeah. I mean, you think so? I wouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean,
depending on the return, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were offers from Denver and Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers opting to stay, and Pittsburgh is still in the quarterback market. Denver obviously is not. So Denver will be okay, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Just kidding.
So curious, as a Packers fan, seeing what Russell Wilson got, and I'm sure it wouldn't be the exact same. Would you, given the chance, take the exact same offer for Aaron Rodgers? Rodgers in a 4 for Locke, Fant, Harris, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 5. Would you take the same offer?
I mean, it would just depend on how.
Because I feel like he'd get a similar offer. He's older.
I mean,
I feel
Drew
like
Lock isn't appealing because we already have Jordan Love.
Right.
And he would definitely be starting at least.
So I guess replace Locke with, I don't know, Tim Patrick or something. I don't know. But the same type of deal. Like 3 not great players, 2 firsts, 2 seconds. Would you do the same thing as a Packer if you were in charge?
I don't know. Because I want Aaron Rodgers gone. I was hoping at least 3 firsts for Aaron.
I figured Russell Wilson would get 3.
That's what I was at least hoping. I would say.
I think if Russell Wilson only gets 2, there's no way Rodgers gets 3.
I mean,
Wilson's 5 years younger.
I don't know. I mean, but Aaron Rodgers also came off of 2 in back-to-back MVPs, and Russell Wilson
for sure he's playing the better football right now.
Fell off. I think Aaron Rodgers could get a 3, but he's not moving anywhere at this point.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really. But would you have taken that?
Probably not.
Okay.
I think I would have at least gone for 3 threes.
Well, Rodgers is going to be back.
3 firsts.
The deal will probably come out within the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that's.
This is being overshadowed. I mean, the happiest person about all these trades is probably Calvin Ridley because Calvin Ridley is going. He sat out a lot of last season due to a mental health break, or I don't know how he phrased it, but it was mental health related. He bet on games while he was out, and he got caught, and he is suspended for he's suspended indefinitely, but at least for the entirety of the next NFL season, which is crazy. I'm just gonna say this right now. That's too much. It's too much. First of all, he wasn't with the team. Okay, so it's not like he was a part of the games, and he bet on his own team. So it's not like he was there selling the game and betting against his own team. He was away from the team, bet on his own team. It was only $1,500. And here's my biggest. Well, that's according to him. But here's my biggest argument. Ray Rice got a 2-game suspension. 2 games.
Yeah. For
Ezekiel Elliott got 4 games?
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley bets a couple thousand on games he's not in and gets an entire year at least. Myles Garrett got 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill didn't even get suspended.
Well, that's the thing. I think...
So by NFL logic, you can assault someone. You can commit brutal domestic violence. You can assault someone in the middle of a game on a national broadcast, and none of those are even close to as bad as betting on a game you're not a part of. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it seems like they're taking a priority over betting, which does seem very interesting, that betting on a game is much of a scare for them, which I'm just saying, it does seem very interesting. But the thing is...
I understand, like, protecting the integrity of the game, and I think that some punishment is necessary.
No, but, like...
But
I think the NFL...
Punishing him more than people who assault people, than people who are domestic abusers, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's the weird thing, is I think
this
it's
is
a
not
contract,
worse than domestic abuse.
It seems like a contract violation, and that's what I think is the issue. But the thing is that the NFL... Because I looked at other like suspensions in previous years, and it seems like they've given them all indefinite suspensions but rolled them back. So I think Calvin Ridley...
I mean, he's already locked into at least one season.
I think they're going to roll it back at least.
I don't think so.
I think they're going to roll it back to maybe like 6 games or something like that.
I'd be shocked.
But that's what I'm predicting.
The only way it gets rolled back is if he appeals and wins, and I don't think he's even going to appeal.
Well, I think... Well, because Myles Garrett was supposed to be the whole season, his got rolled back to only 6 games, which...
It wasn't like this, though. It wasn't...
That was way worse than this. Like...
No, I'm saying the event was worse, for sure.
Yeah.
But, like, the way they're phrasing this is different. Like,
well,
he's not going to play next year.
That's what I predict. I predict it's going to be at least 6 games. I don't know. I could be wrong.
You know what the funniest part about all this is? You can probably go bet on if Calvin Ridley's going to play next year.
Bet on if his betting suspension is
right.
going to uphold.
I don't know. I just think that the punishments are ridiculous. Like I don't understand.
Like I said, I'm not going to say anything, but it does seem very interesting that they're protecting betting over other things, which makes it seem very interesting on how their league's running.
You make
wink,
that.
Wink.
You take that, and you think that means the league is fixed.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I take that the other way. Like, I mean, they get so mad about betting. I mean, you take that as, oh, it's rigged, and they don't want it to come out. I take that as, no, it's not, and they're pissed that people would think that. That's why they're punishing him this harshly. But
I don't know.
But neither of us will ever know.
Yep. But unless something comes out, just like the steroid use in the MLB, maybe. But yeah.
But yeah, okay. So today was the deadline for franchise tags, I believe. So a bunch of high-profile players and some others got franchise tagged. The Chiefs tagged Orlando Brown. We'll just run through them quickly. Bengals franchise tagged Jesse Bates. Njoku for the Browns got the tag, which was a surprise. Dalton Schultz for the Cowboys. Chris Godwin for the Bucks, Devontae Adams for the Packers, and Cam Robinson for the Jags. So those were all the guys who got tagged. The only real surprise to me is David Njoku, and I guess there's 2 surprises. I was also surprised Harold Landry for the Titans didn't get tagged.
I have no idea who that is.
And actually J.C. Jackson for the Patriots.
Yeah, that is interesting.
He's gonna hit the open market, and he's probably gonna be the highest paid corner in the league.
Yep.
I don't know where he's going to go, but...
Well, the thing is, though, is that also is pretty interesting, but I'll talk about this later, because I think we're going to go over Combine after. There's a very... Everyone talks about how great of a draft the wide receiver draft is, but the thing is that this looks like a really great corner and safety draft, too, which the thing is that corners are much harder to come by than receivers. Great corners are very hard to come by. So I think if you put
corners just need more developing.
Well, corners
receiver
it's more a harder position to play.
It's a lot more likely for a receiver to come in and be immediately impactful than a corner.
Because it's so much harder.
Corners just need time to develop. Yeah, this is how it is.
So I think when it comes to a great receiver draft and great corner and DB draft, the DB draft is going to trump it because it's much more of a higher demand, which I think might hurt the signing demand for J.C. J.C. Jackson because there's a ton of corners. But
I think he's still
who
going to
knows?
have a lot of demand because corners take so long to develop and
Yeah.
because he's already so
That's
good.
true.
I think he'll get a bag from a contending team, or at least a
Mhm.
good team. I'm not sure who. Actually, I could see him going to Cincinnati because they're a good
Yeah.
team and they're going to have quite a bit of money. So
Well, then they
I could see that.
they just
I would
franchise
love
tag their
love
safety.
him in San Francisco. I would love that, but it's not going to happen.
And they just franchise tag their safety. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I think they'll just sign J.C. Jackson to like 3-year deal or
Probably.
something. But
And they have a ton of money too. So
right, so
They-
we'll see. I don't see him going to a bad team.
Or you signed Mike Williams, which is I really like that move. Mike Williams has been a stud.
Oh yeah, the Chargers did.
Well, they have Keenan Allen on that team, which I think they might get rid of Keenan Allen.
$20 million a year for
because
Mike Williams. I don't know if I love that.
Mike Williams was great.
I
this
don't know
year.
if I love that.
Mike Williams.
$20 million though.
He was really
3
great.
years, $60 million.
Look at his stats.
That's too much
he
for me.
was,
It's too much
he
for me.
had so many game-winning like he was by far.
I think he's
Justin
good.
Herbert's first
He's
target.
very no. What are you talking about?
He had better stats than Keenan Allen this year. I'm not kidding. I've watched a ton of Chargers
Keenan
stuff.
Allen.
Keenan Allen has the name, but
He's
Mike
also the better
Williams-
player.
Mike Williams was I don't know this year. Mike Williams looked really great. Like, I think
Not Keenan Allen great.
I think Keenan Allen kind of looked a little bit overrated this year, and Mike Williams was much better, and was the much more likable target this year for Justin Herbert. And that's what I
see
feel
the
like.
targets here.
And that's why I think they were comfortable giving him that much money because he seemed like he was the number one target for Justin Herbert this year.
Let's see. Mike Williams had 129 targets. Keenan Allen had 157.
I mean, it's not that far. And how many yards did I think Mike Williams
I think
missed a
Mike
couple
Williams
games or so.
outperformed him in yards.
And I think
Yards and touchdowns went to Williams. Catches
Yeah.
and targets to Keenan Allen. So I'd say Keenan Allen is the number one target.
but I think Mike Williams also missed a couple games as well.
Keenan Allen, I mean, he was dealing with injuries all year.
I
Either way,
think Mike
I think
Williams
20 million for him is way too
I
much.
think Mike Williams is going to overtake
I
Keenan
don't.
Allen.
I just 20 million, man. I
I
can't.
think Keenan
I
Allen's
can't
kind
get
of overrated
behind
a little
that
bit more
with
now.
with how great receivers are straight out of college lately, and
Mike Williams is really great.
they're picking at 17. I would have let Williams walk and draft a receiver.
Dude, Mike
for
Williams
sure.
has been a game saver.
I'll
for the
take
Chargers this year.
I mean, who would you get at 17? Olave, London, Wilson's. I'll take them on a rookie
Over-
deal over Williams for 20 a year. Absolutely.
No, I'm not doing
Absolutely.
that.
I'll take a rookie.
I'm taking Williams.
I'll take a rookie deal wide
And if
receiver
they
all
didn't
day.
take Williams, someone else would 100% sign Williams for that much money.
Yeah, they
That
would
was
have,
the
and
thing.
I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't give him 20 million a year.
I
don't think he's
I
worth it.
like the move. I personally do.
I don't think he's worth it.
But who else was? Other ones were like Dallas Schultz and stuff like that.
Schultz got tagged.
Yeah, they got tagged and stuff. Kyle Van Noy got cut. I mean, he's been decent. I mean, he kind of fell off a bit. He had those times where he was very relevant, like a couple years ago, but now he's kind of. The NFL Combine happened. It was kind of interesting because there's a ton of talks about Desmond Ridder for Cincinnati after the Combine and during the Combine. He ran a 4.46 or something like that, I think.
4.49, yeah.
4.49, and everyone's hyping him up. I think who's the one quarterback that I think it might have been Trey Lance that was all of a sudden had all this hype come up. I don't know if it was Trey Lance because I think Trey Lance was kind of I think he was kind of overshadowed for a bit, but then once the Combine and stuff started rolling out,
I don't think he
got
did the combine.
extremely.
Was there even a combine last year?
I think so.
I don't even remember.
There was one quarterback. I'm blanking on the name. Even when I was writing it, because I remember there was all of a sudden, it might have been Zach Wilson, where all of a sudden Zach Wilson just out of nowhere popped up and was everyone was hyping him up. Maybe I think it was Zach Wilson actually, where Zach Wilson was all of a sudden just rose out of nowhere. It was from
Wilson and
was
Lance both
iffy.
rose quite a bit.
and then all of a sudden Wilson was a lock at the second pick, and everyone's like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
What? And I think that's why I'm kind of resembling it to. But it was kind of interesting because I'm
I don't think Desmond Ritter's half the prospect Wilson was, and I don't think Wilson. I don't think Wilson's that great. He's out of the 5 quarterbacks taken last year. I think he's the most likely to bust. But I'll take him over Ritter all day. Ritter, I don't think Ritter's going to be a starting NFL.
That's what I think. I think a team's going to overhype him and is going to draft him, but then it's going to be
this whole quarterback class is so weak.
That's what I think. There's going to be so many. So there's so many teams that are going to move up to try to get a good quarterback. But
it's not even worth it. It's not worth it at all.
Well, last year it seemed like all were like really good, can't miss prospects, like relatively. This year it seems like it's like the complete opposite, like bust. Like I
think all 5 of the quarterbacks taken in the first round last year would easily be the first quarterback off the board this year.
Yep. And I think we talked about that before.
The only argument I could see is taking Malik Willis over Mac Jones, just because Malik Willis has the physical tools and the ceiling to be elite someday.
But last year, I don't think Malik Willis would have been as highly drafted.
He wouldn't have been. He's QB1 of this draft for me. He would have been 5 or 6.
This year, this college season was so beneficial for him. Like, he wasn't really talked about before.
A little bit, but
I don't think. Well, he wasn't as hyped up as like Mac Jones and stuff like that. So but that'll be interesting. The combine happened. I also want to talk about Khalil Shakir. We talked about him running like a 4.5, 4.6. He ran a 4. I think it was like 4.39 and 4.40 or something like that.
It got bumped up a little when the official times came out. It was 4.4, low 4.4s,
which was pretty interesting.
It's very
pretty
fast.
Dang good.
A lot faster than I thought.
Still think he's going to turn out just like Cooper Kupp, like a Cooper Kupp type of thing. I really like.
He's great.
I told you.
He's really good.
And I keep on emphasizing this.
I've gone through a lot of mock drafts. I think that, like, doing my own, I don't think he's going to be a top 2 round pick. I think he should be.
I think he should be second.
I'll put it out there. I think he should be taken probably 2nd round, but I think he's probably going to slip to the 3rd round, and some team's going to get a steal.
You'll make me so much happier if you get Khalil Shakir.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that the consensus has over him. Like, Wilson, Burks, Olave.
I think he will be the best.
London. Christian Watson is a guy who rose a ton over Senior Bowl and Combine, which really sucks because I liked him a lot for a while, and he played with Lance in college. I wanted to reunite them, but he's probably going to be a 2nd round pick now, so he won't be a Niner, which sucks. But either way, it's going to be interesting. Keep an eye out for our mock drafts.
Please, Khalil Shakir.
They're going to be good. They're going to be
Packers
good. I think we'll do 3 rounds specifically so I can get Shakir to a team.
Yeah.
But
dude, Packers. Please,
yeah.
Please.
I think we're out of time here.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
if we have any,
we'll talk more about draft stuff and rookies, and we'll talk about NBA next week, college basketball, potentially the Batman. We'll see. But
we'll see. Next episode should be interesting. I think we're hopefully sticking with this setup.
Yeah,
unless you guys are like no or something.
Let us know.
But let us know.
But yeah, that's all we got for today's episode. On behalf of Adam and I'd like to say thank you for listening. Follow us on all our socials, Instagram at Sports and Stuff Show, Twitter at SNS_show, TikTok at Sports and Stuff Show. Make sure to check out the YouTube as well. Catch all our episodes live on Thursdays on the University Pulse from 12 to 1, and you can listen to the show on any podcast platform after that. Thank you again, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.